This is Lansdowne Road, the voice of the fans, and you are very welcome to another edition of Lansdowne Road Live. Tonight we're talking about Evan Ferguson's first Roma derby. We're talking about we have a bit of a problem at left back, and we have a new defender on the scene. This is Lansdowne Roar, and we're live. Hello everyone. Lovely Roar faithful out there. Bit of a surprise, off the cuff, out of the blue episode of Lansdowne Roar Live. And your dynamic haircut host is back today. So I've got my little aerodynamic bit going on there, as Conor politely noticed when he's for the first time in about a week. Anyway, you're very welcome here. This is Lansdowne Roar Live. And of course, before we get started, if you haven't already, please do like the video. Yeah. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, because if you don't, well, you shouldn't be watching then, should you? You should be rounded up like those streaming people. Also, head over to Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account, and head over to lansdowneroad.ie. That is lansdowneroad.ie. And if you want a little bit of extra roar, and you like what you see, and you love what you hear, you want a little bit more, just a titch, head over to Lansdowne Roar Plus. The description for that is in the the link for that is in the description below. Conor is with me tonight. You're on. There we go. He's off mute now. Conor looks like he's gone back to nuclear fallout shelter. I don't know. I think that the whole Charlie Kirk thing's got to him a bit. Shh, don't say it. We'll get cancelled. Get switched off. But you are very welcome. And of course, this is your show. We're not too sure what time we're going to be on till. It's a bit of an impromptu episode. We will explain why in a second. But have your say, leave a comment, and get involved. You can talk to us about whatever it is we're talking about. You can ask any question on that, or you can just talk to us about whatever you want, really. It's kind of simple. It is your show to a degree. Anyway, so basically, Conor, as you can see, his camera. We're having a bit of a mare today with technology. We weren't sure whether we were going to be on. Conor's camera is shot, so he's using his webcam on his laptop. And yeah, my internet was up, then it was down, it was up again, and then it was down. So we weren't even sure, Conor, were we, that we were going to have an episode tonight.
Yeah, it's balls, isn't it? It's just complete balls. I'm so frustrated. It's like a pixelated mess here at the moment, and with the egghead beside me, who's suddenly all in absolutely buzzing for some reason. But yeah, it's always good to be back on the live, and I know what you say, it's a bit improv, but I hope people were expecting their Sunday night fix of being back on with Lansdowne Roar Live, and we're back. It's been a lot. It's been a long time since David Dunn has been on a Lansdowne Roar Live on a Sunday night, hasn't it? It's since,
yeah,
because it is, and you have come back with a bang. You have come back with dodgy Wi-Fi, which is always good. But in fairness, it sounds great so far. So, yes, it's a storm in London because it's absolutely lashing here in Ireland. I know I've seen the matches in England. A couple were abandoned with like Ipswich with like 10 minutes to go and stuff. So. Is that what the situation is with yous?
I don't know. I mean, I'm with PlusNet, and they are crap. And then he thanked me for an award. Oh, thanks for voting for an award to give us best. I was like, no, undo that, please. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get this ring light to turn, but it's fucked as well. So everything's fucked with me. I'm just trying to.
Everything's just fucked. Yeah. we're fucked. They're fucked. The Irish team is fucked. It's all gone to bollocks, really, hasn't it? But that's why we're here for you. Well, Man United won, so he's probably has to celebrate somewhere.
Where is Brendy? Because we don't know where he is. If he's in the comments, hello. Or if Rep Tracker Keane's in the comments, maybe he'll be able to tell us.
Good man. And Martin, if you're watching, we are recording in the morning, darling. Yes. And McDonald.
Don't say that too loud, because he'll call you out for what happened the other day.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't say, especially when you say morning and record. But actually, just for
that's
people,
a joke. That's a joke. By the way, I don't want to get Martin into trouble. No.
But
No, we are
do you have
winding
something
up
to tell
now.
the Roar faithful? You've something coming out tomorrow on Roar Plus.
Yes, yes. We recorded the other day. We recorded the World Cup 2002 squad announcement. Martin and I did. So yeah, that will be coming out tomorrow in the afternoon.
Yeah. No, just so people know there's something for if they join Roar Plus. It's something coming out tomorrow.
You got loads of stuff right there. I am gonna take it down because I think it's been up there for too long. But if you like a bit of Raw Plus, of course we do have Raw Retro there. Mick McCarthy's 96, 97. We also have K Sarah Sarah, which I'm gonna take down because I think it's been up there for too long. And we're gonna do that. You know, that's what we're gonna do, Connor, on Lansdowne Raw Plus. We're gonna just put up little tidbits. Like I might put up a full match. I might do that.
Ireland versus Armenia, one for the record books.
I actually do have the entire match of that, the one that we won back in 2010. God, little did I know we'd be 2-1. I could put anything up really. So get on it. Roar Plus $4.99.
Well, you don't want to say something that's actually someone you know might own it and they get for jail for the court for putting it behind a paywall. But anyway, actually, a question for the Row faithful, because since we're just talking absolute shite so far, it's a bit like how the weekend went from an Irish point of view. But yeah, if anyone knows any good stream cams to buy other than as an upgrade from the Logitech one that I'm not a fan of anyway, make sure you send me a message, or a good cam in general that we could use for the podcast, because I'm not happy about the fact that that's broke just like that. It just pissed me off. It was just moving my laptop, and the thing was I pulled it out of it earlier and it just snapped on its way out. So it's just too mad. And you wonder something happens to you and you think, oh, for fuck's sake, why is this happened? But
every day, Connor.
every day. But yeah, we are back.
We are back.
I was going to say the dynamic duo, but that's me and Martin. I don't know what me and you.
Oh, we were in Armenia. That's no. We
we have a different. We can't just be dynamic duo as well. Like kind of just two dynamic duos, and
yeah, we bring all the luck. So the matches. Just a couple of comments coming in here. Anna McDonald, I think he's a bit excited. Hi, oh my god. Shit. Anna McDonald, don't you worry, pal. We are here for you. Wildcat, says Ed Leplin. And Kimon asks, what's the story? Kimon, of course, is a subscriber to Roar Plus. We got some questions. We'll save the questions for later. And Martin Fitzpatrick, another subscriber there. Retro is all we have at this stage. Well, Raw Retro. That's where it's at. So there's some of the opening comments there. But we got some questions there, guys. Baylor, I see your questions, Ed Leplin. We will get to those when we get to sort of the thing. But yeah, this is my first one back since the Armenia game.
Shocking. It's good. Oh, go on.
No, go on. What were you going to say?
No, it was good to have just club football back for a while. Just to I want Ireland to play all the time, but like it was good to actually have the club football back to try and refresh a bit. But then after watching Collins the other day, it just put my mind straight back on Armenia. But go on with your.
No, I was just going to say. I got a message there from a fellow called Rory, and he says, so I have tuned out of this last few weeks. Serious hangover from Yerevan. The matches are flying. The trip home is unbearable as I sit here on a sunny day in Salt Hill, Galway. Now I look forward to Lisbon, and a tint of hope begins to glow. Come on, you boys in green. I think that's a little bit. Are you still hungover, Raw faithful?
Yeah.
When I'm asking you out there, you still hungover from the Yerevan game? How do you feel about it? Are you a bit? Are you going to Lisbon? Anyone here going to Lisbon? Of course, we will be going to Lisbon. How do you feel about it? Yeah. Just how do you feel? It's been a bit of another shit week for the FAI.
Yeah. Because Dave, if you remember I was telling you after, if Collie's listening, I don't know if he's listening, but remember I was showing you the voice notes of him after out to the ground going mad, saying I'm never going back to watch the shower ever again. I'm never going back. I promise you. It's the last time I go back. We were the next day in actually Rome airport because we were flying to Rome. He goes, I've decided I'm going to Lisbon. He booked a flight the next day when he got home. It's just the way we are, aren't we? Just love it too much. We love the getting away for a couple of days, seeing new cities, seeing Ireland play. Just hope it kills you. Especially, I do apologise for anyone who's seen the tweet on my personal account, which for some reason actually went quite popular. are quite big was me saying how the group's going to play out, that Ireland's going to finish second. I apologise if I've given anyone hope again, because I have a couple of people text me saying, thanks, Conor, for giving us hope again. But you shouldn't have done that, because people think now that Ireland's going to beat Portugal at home and Armenia is going to draw with Hungary in Armenia. But there is no reason to, I'm sure from your point of view, Dave, anyway, because you were quite complete, like, this thing is fucked. Like, I know we probably
is
should be
fucked.
going on, but like, I'm sure you probably think we have a better chance of finishing second now than you did 2 weeks ago.
Bless you. No, we are goosed. We are fucked. And I'm sorry. I know it goes. I know it goes against the party narrative here. From what you be listening to, don't you worry. I'm back. The truth doctor's back. Listening to these two, you swear we're going to win the fucking World Cup. No, it's pretty fucked, Conor. It's done. It's another campaign wasted. Really, not a waste of time. Don't go to Lisbon. I'm going to Lisbon, but you don't go to Lisbon. Conor's going to Lisbon too. I don't. We ain't qualified for the World Cup. I'm just going to say it, and my mind hasn't changed. But I will support the team. I will support the manager for a while, and yeah, and and we all will. We hope for the best, but it's done.
We'll probably judge the manager really off if we can beat Armenia at home or not. Realistically.
Well.
But it's shocking though, Dave, isn't it? If you said before the thing started, we could draw at Hungary at home, lose to Armenia away, then lose to Portugal away, and then beat Armenia at home and go into the final 2 games joint second.
So we need. I take it we need Portugal to spank Hungary, basically.
Not spank, just beat them.
Just beat them in Hungary.
Yeah. In Portugal, they already beat them in Hungary, which was a positive for us. When I look back on it now, it actually is a big help that actually happened, because when you're in the heat of the moment after that game, remember I was like to you, oh, for fuck's sake, Hungary have gone 1-0 up, and I was thinking, oh my god, this is going to be, because I was thinking, I don't care, we're not qualifying anyway, let them beat Portugal. And now when you think of it, it's actually massive that they didn't even get a point, but it was in the Puskas Arena, so it was actually massive that Portugal came back. They won 3-2 in the end, didn't they? Cancelo scored 86th minute to get the winner. So yeah, it was badly needed actually that they won that game. It gives us, so it means like Portugal have to beat Porto. We play Portugal. I think Portugal have 2 home games next month. They have us and then they have Hungary, and then it'll go into the final 2 games with. It'll most likely be us and Hungary both on 4 points, Armenia on 3, with Hungary to play Armenia in Armenia, Ireland to play Portugal in Dublin, and then Ireland versus Hungary in Armenia, or Hungary in Armenia, and then Armenia versus Portugal in Portugal. So it'll go into the final 2 games with us on 4 points. So it is still in our hands as such, but it just has to. It's mad though. It is mad though, isn't it? Because you're thinking to yourself, oh my god, we actually have it. You're thinking, I know you're thinking to yourself right now. It's like, I didn't realize, because you're thinking to yourself, even though you think we're not, you didn't realize it actually is doable. Like, it is doable.
Yeah, okay, on paper that is doable. All right, okay, you got me there. But who knows? I mean, that was such an abject performance in Armenia. I actually watched it back again. I watched the first half back again, and it was, we had 10 minutes
of being good.
We literally 10 minutes in that game, and then it fell apart. And I look back and I couldn't believe how spineless the players were. I couldn't believe how they just didn't. Ferguson got a whack on the back of his head. Bang, on the back of his head. It was a nasty. I didn't realize how bad it was until I watched it back. And none of the players, the player went through him. We got bullied.
Sorry, my charger. Sorry, my laptop. Go and talk away. I can hear you.
We got bullied in that game, and you just felt the courage seep, the confidence seep out of the team. And what happened. But anyway, well, there is some good news, Conor, though, out of all of this.
Go on.
And well, Lansdowne Road has a sister site.
Oh shit! Go on. Sorry. This is a complete mess.
That?
It was a tripod fell over.
Anyway, so we have a brand new page, lads, on Facebook on this day in Ireland. I forgot to put it in the description. On this day in Ireland, And basically, it's if you like how we do things on Lansdowne Road, where we have, on this day, such and such, whatever, we do the same thing, but we just do it with Irish history and a bit of fun stuff. For example, yesterday, Conor, I didn't know this, but a member of the real IRA used a rocket launcher and took a shot at MI6 in Vauxhall.
Not in Vauxhall in Liverpool. And
What?
Did you say in Vauxhall?
Vauxhall in London. That's where That's where James Bond lives.
And
that guy stood there with a rocket launcher. Kate, bang.
So not at the Brandywell. Do you remember what happened a couple of months ago with the Derry fan shooting the rocket launcher at the Blues fans?
Yeah. No, not the Brandywell. No, I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, it's kind of mad stuff like that. So anyway, so yeah, go on, give us a follow over there.
What's it called, Dave? On this day Ireland?
On this day Ireland. If you go into
it's in the link in the description.
Did you put in the link in the description for me?
Yeah, it's in the description.
Good man. It's in the link in the description there. On this day Ireland, trying to get as many followers on that, guys, and we're gonna have some fun on that. Right. Since we're having loads of fun on here in this impromptu episode, we'll be getting to iBig. You ready for iBig, Conor?
I am.
Right, let's do it. And of course, you're the adjudicator, Conor. If I made a mistake, you'll point it out. Here we go. The goalies. Queefing Keller, 90 minutes and 3-1 loss to Fulham for Brentford. Max O'Leary still injured for Bristol City. Josh Keeley, 90 minutes and 3-1 loss against Lincoln City for Luton Town. Mark Travers, an unused sub, of course, for Everton. Gavin Bazunu, 90 minutes and 3-1 loss to Hull City. For Southampton, fantastic start there, isn't it?
Oh, it's shocking. I think Josh Keeley will probably be the new manager tomorrow morning. Or not even. That's me just going off because I don't know when, but I'm just presuming that gaffer's going to get sacked because they've spent so much money and they've not started well at all. Like, so.
Shocking, isn't it?
Like, they shouldn't be, even though Lincoln are side actually, but and they have a good gaffer and stuff. But I know it was away from home and these sort of results can happen, but it's like this is kind of happening every other week for Luton when it shouldn't be. So maybe if it doesn't get sacked tomorrow, I'd say he has his last chance next weekend, which is always sad, especially for, I think, because he brought Josh into the club and stuff. So, but yeah, it's not much he can really do. And yeah, the other keepers, Kelleher was he was lucky to goal it. They got disallowed. Keller probably should have done better with, but other than that, he was all right. Like at the weekend, someone in front of him maybe was the reason he conceded 3 goals. But anyway, we'll talk about him in a second.
Yes, we will. Defenders. Robbie Brady, he's injured. We're going to talk about that in a second. Seamus Coleman, an unused sub in the Merseyside derby. Nathan Collins in Ireland form for Brentford. Matt Doherty not in the squad for Wolves. That I can find anyway. Joshua Hanahan, 90 minutes and 1-1 draw with Cork City for Shamrock Rovers.
An assist.
Jake O'Brien, 90 minutes and 2-1 loss to Liverpool for Everton. Andrew Amabamidele, 5 minutes and 3-2 win over Paris FC. Good man. Darragh O'Shea, 90 minutes and 1-0 loss to Blackburn for Ipswich. Liam Scales, 90 minutes and a goal and a 4-0 win against Partick Thistle for Celtic. James Abanqua, they played Monday, Watford. Jimmy Dunn, 90 minutes and 1-0 win over Stoke City for QPR. Callum O'Dowd, not in the squad for Fran Carrosh. Mark McGuinness, not in the squad that I could find for Luton Town. Ryan Manning, 83 minutes and a 3-1 loss against Hull City for Southampton. Aaron Cashin, 10 minutes in a 1-0 win over Swansea for Birmingham. Samuel Garcia McNulty, 90 minutes in a 2-0 loss against Go Ahead Eagles for PEC's Bowl. And Will Ferrell plays Tuesday. So you're putting me off. Why are you laughing?
What? Mark McGuinness sat in the squad for Luton. There's a reason why. Maybe because he signed for Sheffield United on deadline day.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
He played 90 minutes for Sheffield United. The loss, but he done well. I actually watched that game. He actually done well. It wasn't they dominated that game.
Well,
God knows
I'll tell you what, you bollocks. You did because you did the last iBig because I haven't done the iBig for a few weeks, so that's why it was all a bit, it was a bit haphazard. And fucking you missed loads.
Oh, I missed the wrong clubs. A few of them, yeah.
Yeah, Will Smallbone. I said,
yeah, but I
gee, what a
can
car.
adjust.
What
I
a
can
big
adjust
shit.
on the fly though. I can do it and say, oh, that's the wrong club, and say I don't be like you. I don't just presume myself at Luton. I
I
just
I am a newsreader, Connor.
oh sorry.
I'm a newsreader, right? I read the news. I'm a
Yeah.
performer.
Okay. But anyway, go on, tell us.
So we're fucked.
It's shocking.
I
Who do you
mean,
start with? Who do you even start with?
I mean, I saw the. I was actually watching match today on the tube going in. I was watching highlights. Nathan Collins for the foursome. Sweet mother Jesus. Um, or for just awful.
Oh my god. I couldn't
He
believe it. Like,
they had a total nightmare, and it's got me interesting to see now with Keith Andrews, right? I know we wanted him to do well, right? I wanted him to do well. He got an awful time. I don't know why. And first 5 games quite good. That one not too good. You see how calm he is in the interviews. He's
yeah,
like, there's a very special group of players, and gling. And you're thinking, what happens if you lose 3 games in a bounce? Does that beautiful curly hair start falling out? Does he start to look a bit disheveled? Does he have a bit of egg and chips on his beautifully groomed, attire? Like what happens? It'd be interesting to see how he reacts to adversity as well, he knew what it was like as Ireland assistant manager, but as Brentford manager, it'd just be interesting to see. I don't wish that on the lad, of course, because I'm actually a fan of Keith Andrews, but they had a complete shit show yesterday. And Nathan Collins, I tell you, Conor, I tell you what, right? He has the potential to be a top defender, but he has to cut out those mistakes. Otherwise, he won't be a top defender. He needs to focus more. You see what he did there. What he did there for Brentford is what he does for Ireland. We can game in and game out for Ireland, and he's got to stop that. If he's going to be a tippy top defender and he's going to get a move to a top club, and he's got the ability, he's got the jam for Conor. Yeah, he has to. He has to be an international. You've got to be an international player. You got to do week in week. You got to do game in game out for your country, and you got to do week in week out for your club. Because how are you going to get on in Europe, where they're even more cute and more clever? So I don't know. It's just very.
yeah,
It's a bit worrying.
yeah. He was just shit. It was awful. Like, it was nothing. There's nothing much more to say, to be honest, Dave. Like, because you know how positive I am, but I will be honest with someone. He's crap, and like, he was crap, and like, as highly as I rate him, I do think he's going to go on to play for a top club, and I think he still is a top player, and I think it was a sort of thing that the thing he was worried is like one mistake happened and it led to another. And it led to another. It was like his head just went, or he's like he lost a bit of his self confidence as such, which shouldn't happen at that stage. Keith Andrews, Dave, I'm not worried because he had the very good draw against Chelsea last weekend, did a big win against Villa midweek in the cup, and the reality is he didn't do anything wrong at the weekend.
His players let him
His
down.
players let him down. And, like, he will look back on that and he will just say that was 3 points left, or maybe a point you could say, maybe because maybe it's on the balance of the game, but how the game flowed and stuff. You'd probably say there was a point definitely on the table for them there because Collins let him down and stuff, and that own goal was in. Though Collins should have headed the ball, missed the ball completely. The way it just bounced off Pinnock's head into the top corner, it's like one of them things. It's very unlucky for a manager's point of view. But yeah, Collins was shocking at the weekend. Like, it's just not. There's no other way of putting it. And it's the thing with John Stones used to always do it at that age and do it just as bad as Collins has. I think Collins doesn't do that often for Brentford. It's just like, you don't want to start creeping into his game when it shouldn't be creeping in.
I don't know. I mean, Brentford.
But I must say, I did see Wayne Rooney say he worries about them getting relegated, so that has took any worry out of my head that they're going to get relegated. Because any of Wayne Rooney's decisions since he stopped playing, has backfired. So yeah, so he thinks he's worried about them getting relegated. So
yeah, but he might not get relegated because they might sack Keith Andrews if and then someone comes in and keeps him up. But I'm just saying,
yeah,
their league form isn't great, Conor.
No.
There's a bit of a, it's a bit of a miss that first game against Nottingham Forest, battered, shockingly bad. They were very good against Brentford, but let's be honest. Sorry, they were very good against Aston Villa, a very poor Aston Villa side who are currently in a relegation zone, by the way. They're not going to stay there, but they're in very bad form. Then he went to Bournemouth in the EFL Cup, fair enough. Then he lost to Sunderland in Sunderland, and they drew against a very dodgy Chelsea team, as we saw yesterday. And they drew 1-1 with an Aston Villa team, which they've beaten already in league, who are really shit at the moment. And then they've gone and got their ass handed to them by Fulham. So the next game at home is Man United, and then you have Man City, and then you got West Ham away, and then you got Liverpool. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm being honest, you got 1, 2, 3. They could probably end up with just 3 points out of those 4 games, and then that table starts to look a little bit different. So where are they now in the table?
I'm actually not sure. Well, then,
you worry, sweetheart. I'm going to find out for you, darling. That's what I'm here for.
Screenshot first and show us.
Well, I can't do it on this. They're 17th. So they're not great. They're not great.
Yeah, they're not great, but I just think because a few things of individual errors let down. Even the goal they conceded against Villa the other day, did you see the goalkeeping for it? Like, and then in fairness, they came back and got the win. So I'm not like they do have good players and they're bedding in new players and stuff. So I'm not too. I don't worry for Keith Andrews' job because I feel like he is very well trusted there, and I don't think there's any.
Yeah, but in like 10 games, if they're still hovering around.
Yeah. If they've got another 4 points in the next 10 games, then yeah, but. It's not it's not like Graham Potter with like what are West Ham points wise at the moment?
West Ham have 3 points. Brentford have 4.
Yes,
so it's not.
And like his thing is, I think it's just the level of like how much they trust. Like Graham Potter is under huge pressure. He could be sacked in the morning. Like whilst Keith Andrews has the fate of the Brentford board, which is massive.
Yeah, but as I said, next game they're home to Man United. You don't know what Man United. They might be bounced. They might bounce. That's next Saturday. They might bounce a little bit because the whole win over Chelsea, although they're terrible. Then they got Man City home. They're not going to win that. West Ham could have a brand new manager on the 20th of October. After the international window, and then you wouldn't Liverpool go there in 2050. You expect Liverpool under the corner for him. Anything can happen, but you expect them. Then you got Palace away, who are a very good side. Then you got Newcastle home, Brighton away. Then they're home to Burnley, which is a bit of a 6-pointer. Then they're away to Arsenal. And then they get into that's in December, then Tottenham away. So I don't know, Conor. Like, it's a bit... If they're in 17th position by Christmas time, he's going to get the tin tack. That's Cockney rhyme.
Yeah, I can understand where you come from there. I don't
want it to happen.
I like the only difference is I just don't think they're going to be in that position. I think they'll get enough points. Yeah, so that's the only... Like, yeah, I'm not disagreeing that if they're in this sort of position in Christmas time, I think he probably will get sacked or he would be on the verge of it, but I just don't think it'll happen because they have a very specific model of type of coach they want, and they're not going to do what Leeds done a couple of years ago. Remember they brought in Big Sam for the last couple of games of the season to try and keep them with Robbie Keane as the assistant. Do you remember that? Yeah, and it's like Brentford would never do that sort of thing. They try to bring in that sort of model of modern day coach. But yeah, anyway, away from that shit, because we've been talking about Brentford too much, like we support Brentford, but when realistically, like, you can make a mistake for Brentford and you can move on the next day and you're not going to get abused in media, which is a big thing for these players, in all honesty. It's a bit like Fulham as well. Like, a lot of players actually say it, like, the pressure, you're still getting to live in London, but the pressure on you is so much less, which is positive. Probably maybe a negative as well, but probably a bigger positive in the way modern social media is with footballers. But just on Matt Doherty, I don't think he was injured at the weekend. And I had a look at because I was writing my article for the Irish Times earlier, which actually, if you want to buy the paper tomorrow, it'll be in it. And it'll be on my social soon. It's already up. It's on Irish Times website. But I was trying to research in terms of, because I noticed yesterday he wasn't in the squad, but I was thinking, maybe he's just injured, or maybe I don't know what the story is. But then I looked on the bench, and it's all experienced pros on the bench that have played either a lot of Premier League games or all good players. So I was thinking, I think he's just been dropped. I just think because of his age, even though he actually hasn't been bad for Wolves at all under Vitor Pereira. I think it's Vitor.
Well, he hasn't played the last few. No. By the way, Wolves, who have not.
Yeah, Wolves are on 0 points.
They've lost 5 games.
You know,
they are. We tipped them in West Ham, didn't we, to go down?
No, I didn't tip them to go down. I tipped them to stay up, but I tipped West Ham. But I do think they have a good side. They actually he is a brilliant manager, but I just think Matt Doherty's probably time in Wolves as a starter is gone. Especially, I think if he was considered a starter, he would have been made captain. Which you know, he's a part of that. Another thing where you go, oh, he's a part of the leadership group, but then he does one player in particular wears the armband every game, so he's the real captain. Like, and Matt Doherty's not stupid, he knows that. But maybe this could be, as I've said to someone, it's an easy excuse for Heimer to maybe take him out of the Ireland squad because he's probably the first name that fans will look try and probably get made example of next month. And the reality is, I don't like saying that, but I'd say the squad's out in 2 weeks' time, Dave. On that Thursday morning or Tuesday morning at 10:30 in the morning or 11:30 or 12:30, as soon as that squad's gone and they see the list of defenders, and if Matt Doherty's name isn't there, all the comments will be no Doherty, yes, yes, or all these memes of people celebrating, like crying with happiness because Doherty's not, which I think is quite unfair because it's too easy to blame. But it's the reality is what the relationship with Doherty with the fans is at the moment, and yeah, I think it gives a good excuse.
Blame, though.
Oh yeah, no, I know he has been dreadful, but it is quite sad that we are just thinking like a lot of players need to blame, but it's like he's been singled out the most. But yeah,
done it the most.
No, but I just don't condone us sort of just abusing a player online.
I don't condone. No, I don't condone. I know what you're saying, and I don't like to see it. However, don't do it then. You know, like you look at someone like Killian Phillips. Not going to repeat the comment that was made on the live, but that boy gives everything, absolutely everything, for the shirt, and Doherty just throws back.
No, but but I mean, but Dave, I mean, like, if Doherty's not in the squad, me and you and Martin would be glad he's not in the squad because we think we have better options. But we don't go and comment, oh my God, thank God Matt Doherty's dropped, that sort of thing. But, yeah, so do you think that'll be the end of Matt Doherty in Ireland shirt if he just continues just even beyond it? Because even if he's on the bench, like, I don't think it's going to be enough for him.
Without wishing to sound cruel, I hope so. I think it should have been the end of him for a while, to be honest. Although I say that, and then he did come in and he did okay for Heimer.
Bulgaria, well, do you remember he made that running behind, scored the header?
Yeah, he did do that, to be fair. Like that was excellent. But I mean, there were shit opposition, to be fair. And to be honest, that papered over, as we discovered, papered over a shit ton of cracks. He probably, even though he did that, I think he should have been rid of a long time ago. And look, I don't mean that to be cruel. I don't mean that to be nasty. It's just, look, it's done. And I think we have seen the last of him. And if Heimer's smart, it will be the last of him. Yeah. If you're gonna bring a right, look, you got right back options. You got Jake O'Brien there. He seems to do a job. If you're gonna bring somebody, Seamus Coleman, 100%. Even if you don't play him, you want him around the squad.
So he will be in the next squad, 100%. He's not a even yeah. And we have like Fest. He's been playing right back every game for Istanbul. Jimmy Dunn's obviously a right back as well. And the thing is, when we've seen Matt Doherty actually play well for Ireland, which he must deserve praise for them, Bulgaria, he was playing as a right of that back three. And then he was playing as that left back / left centre. But he kind of was just played left back the whole time against Hungary because we were penned back because we were set up so poorly, in all honesty. We couldn't get out over half because we had no pace in our team to push us up the pitch. So he's playing as a left back, which was completely away from where he has been good for Ireland or Heimer. But anyway, we're rambling too much about Doherty because people are sick of Doherty talk. But other than that, the others, Robbie Brady, Dave, out?
He's out for a few months now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a couple of months. Did he get was the surgery he got? But he's out with the calf injury.
Yeah.
So which is quite sad, like, and he is a big loss to Ireland, but I don't think he's irreplaceable, Dave, is he?
Is he irreplaceable?
I think, is there much difference between him and Manning?
Not really. I think as Manning's a better set piece taker. In terms of being a better passer for the ball, I've always said it. Robbie Brady has that zip that the top players have when you pass it the right way to pass. Only the top players. He had that, and no injuries, and he said himself maybe an attitude when he was younger. But you need that. You don't need that as a left back. You need that in the center of the park. You need that as a number 10 or number 8, and unfortunately, he doesn't have the legs to do that. So he's put in channels as opposed to the great big pond. He's in a channel to protect his shortcomings physically. Not having a go, just being honest. That's his greatest attribute. is his touch and his pass, and as a left back is kind of wasted. So Manning's going to give you a bit more. Manning's a better free kick taker. He is. He's a better set piece taker. So he's not irreplaceable.
Yeah, just
Manning, just got Manning.
Yeah, but just Brady, I think just Brady overall is a better footballer. He's better defensively, and he's a better. I think as well, and he's stronger. Like, and he is a leader. You can tell he has him. Especially, that's the big thing with Coleman coming back, and Brady does have them leadership qualities that not many other Irish lads has, and he has that experience.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And just on the other defenders, who's there? Jake O'Brien's long throw-ins are continuing to just make me want to pull my hair out. He was taking them for Everton at the weekend, Dave, because actually I was speaking to Collie again. But before I was because he supports Everton, and I was saying, does he take them for Everton? He's like, no, James Conor takes them all for Everton. And then lo and behold, on Saturday, Jake O'Brien starts taking them for Everton. So David Moyes obviously seen him take them for Ireland over the break and thought, oh yeah, we'll take advantage of this. But even when I was watching last night, anyone was watching Fulham as well, the difference in Michael Coyote, who was taking them for Fulham last night, compared to Jake O'Brien, is actually ridiculous. Coyote, like, he gets like the same height in it, but the pace and power that goes in these runs, it's like an arrow going straight in. Whereas Jake O'Brien's with these loopy long ones with no pace on that, like, you can't really attack. Like, maybe if a player attacks it, it just goes flying up in the air. But I don't think anyone's ever made first contact with them. But yeah, and also great to see Omo Bamadelli back, Dave. Massive to have him back, because I think he's such a talent, and even though he's going to retire before he's 25, I know you said he played 5 minutes, but I think he got 15 in the end. There was 10 minutes added on extra time, so he managed to get, yes, which is it was good to see him. He got enough minutes probably in the legs that he can trust his body a bit more, because it is a big thing when you're a lad that's getting injured as much as him, to get a bit of confidence back in yourself and go again. And Liam Scales scoring at the weekend, he's continuing to prove a lot of people wrong at Celtic, which is good to see. I know they were playing against what was a championship and standard, but against a championship Scottish team, but he still has to go and head the ball in the back of the net, which was actually a very good header.
Tell us about the boy at in Serie A, Lecce, was it?
Yeah, new lad in Spain for most Irish. We did speak about when he got the move. Corey and Dabo was a Conor last season, played for Cherry Orchard when he was younger, and he was at Ipswich for Ipswich, and then he got released by Ipswich, went to Scotland. I know he's at a few other clubs on loan and stuff, but and made his debut on Friday night for Lecce. Luckily, it was on DAZN, so I was able to have that on at the same time as the League of Ireland, and he actually was quite solid. Our videos on Twitter has a compilation up of all his touches from the match, and he was quite solid. He only had to make a few tackles, but on the ball he was tidy. You could tell by his size, a big physical presence. The manager said they needed to get a physical presence on the pitch at the end of the game, so that's why Corey came on, and he looked solid. And the thing is, I seen Lecce fans were the boy Gallo, that was starting over him, is meant to be very, very poor, so they were thinking, please be good, and they were happy with him. And solid, strong in a tackle, tidy in possession, didn't look scared, and that was a big thing, isn't it? With your debut, is going from the Scottish League to the Serie A is a massive step up, and you just want to probably impress in your debut and do all right, that the manager can have faith in you, that maybe hopefully starts them the next game or gives him half an hour in the next game. They can build it up, because he's a real option for us now at left back, Dave, if he starts playing, because we don't have any left back in the top 5 league, and I know Serie A is not the Premier League, but it's still a very, very high standard. And the thing is, we've seen with Heimer loves these big physical presences at the back. I think that's why Jimmy Dunn has constantly been called up, because he loves that big, tall fullback, and Dab is massive, and he has a bit of athleticism, and he's tidy in possession. So I think, especially if Portugal away, we're going to be in like a low block as such. I know you hate that word, but he'd probably be sitting deep, and if you're trying to maybe constantly get rid of cross out of the box, if you have someone at the back stick that is physically quite big, like compared to Ryan Manning, the size difference is huge, and his ability in there, because he's played a lot of centre back, he's played a lot of centre half, like as a young player, or in a back three and stuff. So yeah, I think he is if he can start playing, he's a real option, because he's a sort of player, Dave. If you probably asked me last year or a year and a half ago, predict an Irish left back that's going to break through into the Ireland senior squad, play for the Ireland senior squad, he would have been maybe 10th on the list, which is great to see. The lad, a lot of lads maybe they have the talent, but never got the chance to show it, or never got the opportunity to play at this level. And fair play to Lecce, we took a risk on him, and hopefully this is just a start, because the reality is it was only 45 minutes. Don't know, he might not play again for the rest of the season, but he done all right to to show that he has a bit of something that could maybe offer something to Ireland as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You still there? Oh, sorry, I wasn't too sure. We lost you there for a second. There you go. That's the defenders, Conor. We're going to move on to the midfielders.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Jason, 90 minutes and 3-1 loss against Oxford City, Oxford United even. Killian Phillips, 90 minutes and 2-2 draw against Kilmarnock. But they won 5-3 on penalties for St. Mirren. Will Smallbone plays on Monday for Millwall, Conor. Jack Taylor, well, that match is abandoned. Against Blackburn. John Joe Fitzpatrick, Patrick Finn even, Tuesday for Stade Ram. Josh Cullen, 90 minutes and a 1-1 draw with Nottingham Forest against Burnley. Finn Azaz, 75 minutes and 3-1 loss to Hull City for Southampton, having a great start over there. Mark Sykes, 71 minutes and 3-1 loss against Oxford United for Bristol City. Jason Maloney, 90 minutes and 2-1 loss against Middlesbrough for West Brom. We're flying since Azad left. Annie Moore, 16 minutes and a 4-1 win over Real Salt Lake.
Go
so
on,
it's
Andy.
not a fake one. Jamie McGrath, 71 minutes and 2-0. Well, loss against Rangers, not win. I couldn't say law. Anna Brown, 27 minutes and a 2-1 win over West Brom for Middlesbrough. Boston, wow. 90 minutes and 1-0 loss against QPR for Stoke. Conor Coventry, 90 minutes and 1-0 win against Sheffield United for Charlton. Milanic Ali, 90 minutes and an assist in a 3-1 loss against Lincoln City for Luton Town. And Joe Hodge made his return, and he got 59 minutes in a 0-0 draw against Estrella.
Great to see him back.
Yes, you were very pleased, weren't you? Very pleased.
Yeah, no, just glad to see him back. He's just a very good player. I think he's a future. He's definitely in Ireland. He should be in Ireland international at this stage if his body would have maybe helped up or developed. That just some lads go through injuries when you're younger when their body's developing. And fortunately, it's probably took longer than what it should. So hopefully we'll see him play for Ireland soon. But yeah, it's good to see him back playing. But Dave, John Joe Patrick Finn. We may as well just give up on him. He didn't even make the matchday squad on Saturday. There was a reason Stade Ram were trying to get rid of him this summer. He's simply just not good enough, unfortunately. Or maybe he might be in a couple. Because the thing is, what I would say is, if you got a profile, Dave, as such, put it just to basics, have a profile of a player in terms of athletic ability, size, and has a bit of ability, he would be probably the ideal centre mid in the modern day, or your modern number 8, because he can cover ground, he's fast, he can carry the ball, which we've seen in glimpses, and he has a bit of ability on the ball. But obviously, it's just consistency and maybe just the ability to do it constantly. It's not really a surprise. Like, he was let go by Real Madrid when he was younger, and he was kind of in these not real academies, but like academies at the same. I don't know what you call them, sort of private academies. So it showed like he didn't go through the real Spanish setup until he got to Getafe when he was he like 16 or something. But
he's not. Yeah. Look, I watched him for Stade Ram, and he's the type of player, as I said. And all this shit was going on about him all around. People were looking at people were looking at reels of him, weren't they, in TikTok and all that. They didn't look at the full picture, and I did. And I said it on here, didn't I? I turned around and said he is the type of player we need, but he doesn't have the skill set for it. And you can see what he's trying to do, but it just got worse.
Yeah,
he got worse. Now he was playing in a shit team, but and they're trying to get rid of him, and it's a team that's been relegated. Yeah, I'm sorry, John. But I'm
surprised. Just to cut in, are you surprised? Like, I'm a wee bit surprised that he hasn't actually not kicked on, but just not become a regular. I thought he would have been good enough to become a regular. Like, to not even make the matchday squad, I thought he would have been good enough to make at least. You would have thought he'd be good enough to make the bench.
From what I saw, no, absolutely not. Not good enough. He did a little turn on the outside edge of the box for Ireland, and people were absolutely creaming themselves. And I was thinking, what's going on here? And now that is, yeah. But like, oh my God, and I was like, no, he did well. He did okay, but he did a turn in a very turgid performance, let's be honest.
Don't forget, Dave, do you know the fact that he actually isn't good? Do you know whose fault it is?
Whose?
Mine.
Because
anytime a young player plays shit, it's Rep Chopper's fault. Get told to get overhyping John Joe Patrick Finn when I've never even hyped him up once. I just tweeted about him.
Don't get me wrong. Any opportunities with the boot of the Conor, right? I will take it gladly. But no, I have to admit, to be fair to Conor, he didn't. He's a bit more optimistic about it than I was. But I call it as I see it.
I'm more of an
And
optimist than you are. Like, it's just a difference. That's really
I'm just a fucking realist, you know. But no. No, and that matters to me again because I've watched highlights of the man. I haven't watched him live. But that was a perfect opportunity. Why play John Patrick if you're watching him for Stad Ram and you're properly watching him? It doesn't take much. All you have to do is just buy a burger in Paris and you got free fucking League One pass. I got a League One. I'll tell you. Do you know how easy it is to get a League One pass, Conor? You don't even have to fucking. You just sign up. You sign up for last year's one, forget to cancel it, and bang, you're 80 quid down. You're 80 euros down. You have a League One pass. That's how fucking easy it is to get a League One pass, right? I didn't even want the fucking thing. And I said, can I cancel this? And he just, none. Anyway, and yeah, all you had to do was just watch him and realize he wasn't good enough. And then you see Bosa Noel sitting on the bench, someone I wanted to have a look at. I hadn't seen him. I want to see what all the hype's about.
Yep, and this is a disgrace.
It's so stupid. It just makes me angry about June again all over. But yeah, no. So
what about John... Oh, go on.
I'm just saying, John Patrick, you are gone from iBig. Gone.
But don't worry, if he does something, I'll make sure to keep everyone informed. Dave just forgets about these lads. Don't worry, I don't forget about anyone. I make sure in case anyone turns it around, I can say I was there from the start. But anyway, actually on Boston, because we all know how much I love Boston, and the reality is, what I would say to people, if people give out about how much I say how good I think Boston is, or how good he was as an underage player, it doesn't take away how good if a player doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. But you can still say a player was top class at underage level, or was top class at Hassie, but even he's shown it with Fleetwood. But he had another excellent performance with Stoke at the weekend. As Deck Finnegan pointed out, Deck, who was at Loftus Road, was actually contacting Rep Tracker during the game and was saying that Boston was their best player. He was so cool and composed on the ball and brilliant in the air. He didn't have that much to do. I think he was stuck mainly to the other centre half. Conor did, because obviously you'd rather stick to someone that's not Boston the wall because how good he is. But I did see a lot of Stoke fans were quite frustrated the weekend, saying how bad the midfield was, and they were like, just put Boston in midfield. Like, even though it was funny because last weekend it was kind of, you'd say, hypocritical. Last weekend they were saying, "Oh, why would we change it? Just keep playing them in the centre half." And then after that last weekend, the other day, they were like, "No, just play them in midfield. Like, we need to put him in midfield." In fairness, and actually, Irish eligible Harvey Veal scored an outrageous goal for QPR at the weekend. Hopefully, he's a player we might see in Ireland in the future, because I know he already has a passport. Because I think it was more for maybe getting a move to a European league, but the fact he already has it there and be quite for of England setups, yeah.
Or perhaps not getting rubber glove treatment when he goes through Spanish customs. Did you see Irish eligible GSB Hall getting a ridiculous yellow card in the Merseyside?
That was crazy.
Fucking ridiculous. Liverpool. And I was like, how can you blame that on Liverpool? It's just a shit ref.
Yeah, it was shocking. It was great. It was a very good game. Irish eligible. Conor Bradley should have got a yellow card for his 1 million fouls on Irish eligible Jack Grealish. But just another midfielders. Just Dave, we had who else did we play at the weekend? Just because there was someone I was meant to be speaking about there. Oh, Andy Moran actually had his first 2 appearances for LAFC. Did an unbelievable flick in the first game, but just showed to me, even though there was no need to do it, it just showed that he has the abilities way better than everyone else. And I don't care what anyone says, he should be in the Ireland senior squad. When you have that much ability, that's not a farmers league. The MLS is a good league. It's not. But you're just.
Let's see him do that. Let's see him do that in the championship. Let's see him oppose him.
But that's not. It's a different style.
His fucking legs broken. We did that in the championship.
Yeah, but what about the Dutch league? The MLS is on par, in my opinion, with the Dutch league. Because people are like, oh, maybe. Well, how is it on par? Like, look at the Dutch league. The top teams.
MLS on par with the Dutch league.
Look, the top teams in them, and I'd say top teams in the Dutch league are better. The top teams in the Dutch league are better, but the bottom teams in the MLS are better than the bottom teams in Holland. I think overall the balance it's very par. And when you have players like Young Son playing in the MLS alongside Andy Bourne,
he's 90 years of age.
Don't disrespect. No, the MLS is.
Don't disrespect him.
No, but
you're saying watching him. He's a generational talent.
but just give Andy time. But I do think when you have that much ability, if you're playing football and you're playing at a level that you're still being tested, Dave, which is the most important thing. As long as you're being tested, it's not like he's playing in Scotland where you're playing against John Joe, fucking Patrick Finn's long lost brothers every week. He's still playing against a team. They're playing against decent teams, and when you have that much ability, if you don't think he was good enough to play beside Ferguson against Armenia and make a big difference, I don't know.
I could have played against Ferguson.
Yeah, but we didn't have a
bigger fucking impact.
I just think it's just a disgrace when that lad's that much talent and you just people aren't picked because just and the thing is he's shown it last season at Stoke. He played in the midfield too at Stoke last. People forget, man, that Andy Moore was playing in a 2 at Stoke last season in midfield and was doing actually very well at the start of the season until the manager got sacked. Until the manager got sacked. And
why did he get sacked?
Just because they weren't winning games. The big reason you know what the big reason actually was? We will go on to probably speak in a minute. Do you remember when Tom Cannon used to score goals? And used to actually be really good, yeah. At Stoke last season. And then do you remember he got recalled by Leicester? And then Leicester sold him to Sheffield United, and then he just fell off the face of the earth. That's kind of what led to their downfall, is no one to score goals, and then the manager ended up getting sacked. But yeah, because Andy Warner's in the team, and Boston's back wasn't working back then. But yeah, Conor Coventry, good win at the weekend. We all know Heimer spoke highly of him after the game against who was it? No, actually, it was the squad announcement presser, and he said that he had he was impressed by how well he'd done at the start of the season with Charlton, so he could be an option next month with how shit our midfield is at the moment. Josh Cullen has done well again, who I must say, when I learned the other day that people may not know, well, I didn't know, honestly, so if I didn't know, probably most people didn't know, and I said it to yourself and Martin, that he must get a bit of credit for the fact that in that Armenia game, he shouldn't have played because he had a hamstring injury, and he played through the injury, which I know he ended up being shocking, and probably that's why he came off, but if he plays through an injury, with a lot of lads we see in modern times are probably being he probably was told you're not fit enough to play, and he went and played through it, which it does deserve a level of respect. But
why does that deserve respect though? I don't understand that.
No, not respect, but I think it in terms of people saying like, oh yeah, Josh Cullen is so what, but like when you hear he had a hamstring injury and he played through the hamstring injury.
Why the fuck's he playing in the midfield in a position where you need your legs, you need your hamstrings with a hamstring injury? Who the fuck is like, with all, fair enough, yeah, I get the whole thing, but why the fuck's he playing?
But we got worse when we went off, though. But he still got worse when we went off.
Yeah.
And we brought on someone who is a Duracell bunny.
Who won a prize? No.
Stop it, you. Stop being a prick. Stop being a prick. But he is that Duracell bunny type of player. Which is not, it's not an offense, but that's just the type of player he is when you run about loads and get stuck in. Yeah. But yeah. But anyway, we can probably move on to the forwards. This is the longest eye big of all time, but it's probably been the most enjoyable eye big of all time.
Are you enjoying it out there, Robert? It's fucking nothing else to talk about.
No, it was I'm not gonna lie, it was the most depressing weekend of football I've watched in a long time. And also, do you know what has actually died out? What used to be the prime time rep tracker, these 3 p.m. kickoffs, nothing happens. No one plays. They get through the lineups in 5 minutes because literally all our Irish players are playing, which is a good thing. They're playing across Europe, or they're playing in the MLS, or playing in different leagues. At the times, like Evan Ferguson was playing at 11:30 this morning, and like
obviously 12:30 local time. Yeah,
I think it was because they were saying the heat. They were saying heat. Yeah, sorry.
Well, and also that's a fucking tasty derby as well. That is.
Yeah.
Because have you ever been to the Stadio Olimpico?
No, I haven't.
I've been there once for a U2 concert, 2010, where Ireland got knocked out of the World Cup in 1990, and there's one bridge that goes into it, and it's the same bridge that goes out of it. It's just a bottleneck. It's a nightmare. If you ever are going to the Stadio Olimpico, it is a fucking nightmare to get in and out of. So that's probably why they do it as well. Because a lot of side streets, a lot of fighting, a lot of all that kind of thing. But anyway, let's move it on to the attackers. Festy Abasella, 62 minutes and a 1-1 draw with Alan the Spore. Evan Ferguson, 66 minutes and a 1-0 win over Lazio. Adamida, 16 minutes and a 2-1 win over Birmingham. Not as Celtic as Swansea. Casey McAteer, 65 minutes in an abandoned game against Blackburn. Troy Part, he is injured for AZ Alkmaar. Sammy Smolich, 50 minutes in an abandoned game against Blackburn as well. Sinclair Armstrong, 3 minutes and a 3-1 loss against Oxford for Bristol City. Mikey Johnson, 30 minutes and an assist in a 2-1 loss against Middlesbrough for West Brom. Rocavazza, he plays Monday for Watford. Tom Cannon, 30 minutes and a 1-0 loss against Charlton for Sheffield United. Good old Chris. Chidozie Benny, 60 minutes and 1-0 loss against Charlton for Sheffield United as well. Michael Obafemi on you sub. Tyler Goodwin on you sub for Oxford United. Aina Amaku, who looks like he's impaled on the pitch, doesn't play till Monday. Some dodgy fucking graphics there. What are you doing, Connor?
No,
Connor
you
Connor
made the
did
graphics. I just didn't. I just did the writing.
I could go on a play. I could go on a play. I could.
I don't know,
when I see it's gone wrong.
Yeah, but
Would you not have fixed Ido Amako?
aside
like
of
he's-
Amaki.
Wow,
Yeah,
fucking caught in his pitch by the look of it.
But
How?
speaking of as bad as that graphic is, that was the forwards didn't have much of a better weekend. That was absolutely shocking. Like it's time we all retire. Yeah. The thing is, a lot of our lads are at the best club periods or like clubs that we've had in a couple of good few years or in a long time in terms of club situations. But like Jesus Christ, that was just a week. The thing is, we were probably due a bad weekend, weren't we? Of eventually after a while, but probably it was just bad that it all fell at once. And even like Johnny Kenny wasn't even in the squad for Celtic the last two games. I don't know what's going on there. Even like Louis Barry, who's now an option for us, we'll probably need to add him to big. He played half an hour. I actually did watch Sheffield United, Dave, and Chio was actually very good. He actually looked very bright. His decision making, which is always the thing I always look out for him because it can be quite poor at times. He needs to make the pass and he will just try and take another man on, ridiculously from ridiculous angles. But he actually was very good at the weekend, which was good to see. And he seems to be building up fitness wise, which will be a big, especially when we play Portugal away. Like if he's 100% or close to 100%, he'll be massive player for us. Festy was good to see him get another 2 minutes in today. I know he's playing right back, but it's still good for us. He's definitely going to come back. He has to come back in next month. Like he's just such an option.
I was talking to my boss actually today, and he was just he hadn't seen me since I went over to Armenia, and he's like, "Jesus, like you know what happened? Where was that guy that caused all the problems against us?" I was like, "Festy," he goes, "Yeah, wasn't in the squad."
Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah,
people forget. People forget, man. People forget.
Yeah, he was our best player in that game against England. Like, he caused real problems. He just couldn't handle him because you know what I like about Festy, and it's an issue I have with modern day football. I have a lot of issues with modern day, a lot of issues, full stop. But especially with modern day football, they run the channels. They don't think outside the box. You run the channels. Oh no, I got to run in this channel. I got to do it. And he goes, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the goal against Finland." He just the two lads were in the channels, and he just went, "Nah, fuck it." And oh my god, he's in my channel. What do I do? And he, you know, that's what he did against England. He just ran down the center of the pitch. Yeah. And all the England players were like, "Oh my god, he's not on my channel. What do I do?" He just ran, and he ran the full length of the pitch. And did he get a free kick for us, or it was a ridiculous decision?
He was winning a lot of free kicks because he's that sort of player, Dave, doesn't he? He has that sort of like. There's a lot of these like players that are of his like stature, his like speed, his sort of style that are very headless. They're very fast. Adama Traore, like Ben is a bit like that. You could go name loads of players that are kind of that, and their football brain lets them down an awful lot. But you don't actually realize how good Fessi's football brain is at times. Like that goal against Finland, the way he took it back and put it on his left foot. Like you would think with Festi, there's no way he's any good with his left foot. And then you see that sort of ball he did. And I don't know if you remember, every single training video you see of Festi, he's always, I know it means nothing, but like outside the left boot, he's always like banging him in the top corner or the bottom corner. And you're thinking, this lad, you'd never think he has this ability, but he has so much ability for a lad of his style of play, and he's such a good football brain, which you'd never think he had. And like as you say, like he's not just running channels; he can weave in and out. And like the big thing with him and Ogbene to me is like against Hungary at home. Hungary were sitting back the last half an hour, and that doesn't suit Ogbene. I know we won a couple of free kicks, but because of the way Ogbene is a bit, or Fessie's ability is, and the fact he can weave in and out against a low block, it's not an issue to Festy. And he's so quick over the first couple of yards that he loves to do a little thing where he'll just stand, he'll face up a defender, and he'll use his left foot. Say he's on the right wing, he'll use his left foot to slide the ball past the defender and knock it on and go. And he only needs a couple of yards. He could be on the 18-yard box. Like, whilst Bennett kind of needs like 40 yards, he just kick it and run. Fessy only needs 5 yards, and he'll create that space for himself. So I do think it's crazy to make the last squad, even though I've said it like of many times. But
Yeah, I know.
it's positive that he's doing well at club level.
You are correct. I mean, how do you? I hate the expression. How do you beat a low block? Wingers.
Yeah.
Wingers. He's perfect. He carves it. He carves through it, because that's designed to basically stop. Mostly that will stop central play. If you play through the middle and you sit back, that's a nightmare to try and carve through that, because there's no openings, there's no gaps, and you have to just keep passing it around the back four. But if you have someone like him, like, fucking do something, and he all of a sudden he finds himself inside the 6-yard box, you go, oh shit, he could just do it. He's just got that about him. Mikey Johnson as well on the left, not as good, I don't think, as Festy, but he's
consistent with it.
And that's what annoys me. I know it's quite rudimentary, but like, you've got two wingers that can do a job for you, and you're gonna go against a team like Armenia who are gonna sit back because he just got a 5-0 spanking. Set the wingers on them, and then or do what we do and do all right for 10 minutes and then get bullied and look.
And that's like it's like I know we speak about but I even though I remember at the time you thought it was great, but then you eventually admitted no, it should that whole nonsense of just crossing the balls in the back. We got into the opposition half against Hungary, and we would just put loopy balls into the back stick, which were they really. They were the equivalent of Jacob Ryan's long throw-ins, where you put loopy crosses in that just centre backs feed off or full backs feed off. They love to clear, or even if we make first contact, it's a loopy one that goes flying up near, the keeper claims it or goes out for a goal kick. Fessy isn't going to try. He's just going to try and take his man on and then cross it in, or he'll recycle it. And that's what a big issue. Like I know one player is not going to make a huge, but as David Conor has said time and time again, he says one decision can make break a team, like it did with Doherty at left back, and I think not having Fessy in the squad as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And yeah, look, I remember I did the analysis in the emotion, and it was great, like 2-2. Oh my god, But it was an emotional game, and that bit I enjoyed. I really enjoyed the emotion of it. It was fantastic. But then when it calms down, you got to analyze the thing and you got to look at it. And when I looked at it, and I'll give you credit, you were spot on. You said it on the night. I'm quite emotional. I get really fucking mad into it, and you were kind of watching from an analytical mind. And you were like, no, the crosses were terrible. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I was like, okay. And then I went back and looked at it and went, yeah, you're right. They were. It was just. And that's why where you got somebody like Jacob Ryan who's a good cross for the ball, and then if you have someone like a Fessy in front of him, you've got an option then, right? Let's hit him crosses into the box, but let's also use Fessy. You can mix it up a little bit. And anyway, I know we're going over all ground, but yeah, but that's what I you could. Anyway, what the fuck?
You should listen to me more often. But yeah, it was.
I was into the emotion. I don't just sit there with my calculator.
It's weird. It's weird though. It was weird though, isn't it? Because usually you're the more pessimist, or as you would say, the realist, and you were more with the point than I was in the end, because I knew it was 2 points left in the table.
No, you see, you have to understand, when we were good, I used to be lunatic at matches. Like I get into
but you have to put it in modern times.
And you have to, I know, and you have to have to put it in a jar, and we have to put a little lid in it. We have to compartmentalize it and all that. But yeah, like I enjoyed that. Like I enjoyed the emotion of it, and it was great. But as I said, I was still able to afterwards, and I had to think about it. And I wrote the article on the plane going over to Yerevan, and. Oh god, the German flight attendant, holy Jesus. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Right, so funny story, right? So I'm sitting there on the plane and I'm writing my article out, and I goes, I've almost got it done, so I need another cup of coffee. and I see someone walking out with a cup of coffee. I said, God. Now, before that, I asked the guy, I said, do we have to pay for the in-flight meals, or are they included? Because I know with Asian they're included, which I was flying back with. And he looks at me, he's like, no, you have to pay. Okay, no problem. Why? Why do you think you don't have to pay? I said, no. It's just wasn't sure because I know some, no, it's fine because BA will give you a free meal sometimes. No, you have to pay. He's like, yeah, no problem. And I got the nicest chicken sandwich, right? That was earlier on. I was trying to have a laugh. I fly Ryanair, I'm lucky that I'm not strapped to the fucking wing. And to get me a cup of coffee later on. And I said, can I get another cup of coffee, please? I'm just finishing up my article. I had about an hour left on the flight. And he looks at me. Goes, yes, but you have to pay. I was like, I know. Fuck's sakes. Yeah. Unbelievable. Anyway, and the point being, I had my, I was thinking, even the article said, well, it kind of worked-ish. Like the crosses worked because it took the pressure off us eventually. We eventually got, like, it gave us an opportunity to stop Hungary because we bombarded them so much. It gave us an opportunity to basically not have to defend against them eventually. Because I know they had a couple of early ones, didn't they, in the second half where we could have been 3-1 down. Or sorry, we could have been 3-2. Yeah, 3-1 down. And Keller made 2 top saves. But then after that, they were just like, okay, fuck it, lads. Hands to the pump. Because we were just launching balls into the box. So they couldn't get out. So in that way, it worked. So I said in my article, it worked-ish. And I'm correct in that. But you were also correct. And both things can be correct. That, yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah. There was a lack of variety. And they thought, and that was another reason why they sat back. The Hungarians, because they went, oh fuck it, these are just long balls into the box, grand. And it was only when we mixed up, put it into the middle, a bit of interplay, boom, and the header by Ida that we got him. So yeah, just to explain that. Anyway,
but anyway, on the because forward we didn't really speak about anyone else. Good to see Ferguson get another start this morning. Quite disappointing he still hasn't got the first goal, but I think he doesn't really have much surface. I will watch it. His hold-up play and his link-up play is outrageous. Even the commentator on the zone, an Italian fella, was saying how unbelievable the work Ferguson is doing for his team with his hold-up play and his link-up play. And even when you see Dobbik coming on, you see the levels between Ferguson and him. He's already world-class in terms of hold-up play and link-up play. His teammates, it's a joy to watch. In all honesty, you can just see the levels he is above the rest of the Irish players. But it's just a pity he didn't really get any. He had one shot on target, but it was like a half chance that he just shot. It was Roma's first shot on target from outside the box and near the left corner of the box. And yeah, he was. It was a pity just because it's a couple. What's it? 4 games or 4 games in now, and he's only got 1 assist, which hasn't reflected his performances at all for Roma. But the thing is, you just don't want that to drag out and go into 6 or 7 where people start going like, oh, he's a flop, he hasn't scored even though it's real, he's not, and then it starts getting into Ferguson's head because he's a striker, it will get in his head if he doesn't start scoring in like the next game, which I do think he will do because he's just an unbelievable player.
Yeah, but Italian football's a bit different though, isn't it? Like it's tighter, and I'm not making excuses for the boy. Listen, if you don't think that boy has the talent, no, he's the potential, and we said it for here, then you clearly need to watch him. Like his goal against, even what he did against Hungary, he had fuck all service, and the way he just bounced the 2 lads off him, created space, got that was just elite level. He's probably too good. He's almost too good for midfielders, because he's so far ahead. They don't know how. I think that could be a problem as well, like. Because he's so far ahead, he sees the game in a different way, a completely different level. They can't really do him justice. Does that make sense, or am I going too far?
No. But I think at Roma is like he has Kone behind him, he has Pellegrini, he has.
No, I mean at Ireland.
Yeah, even though, but he has them, but he has top midfielders behind him and top creative players, and they didn't create anything, and they're not creative. He's picking up the ball. I think it's maybe because of the style of Italian football is slower and stuff, and he's probably adapting to that because he's picking up the ball quite deep to where it is, and we don't know. He's not. The one thing he lacks is like light and pace. Even though he's not slow, but he just doesn't have light and pace to like go in behind and make loads. Like he doesn't really get chances in behind. It's kind of from his hold up play or his link up play, or maybe a 1-2.
His link up play, his hold up play, and the fact that he can hold on to it and he can create space. That boy's intelligence is. Look at the goal. He almost had it. Well, he got a goal, didn't he? Against. I mean, I was showing that to people. I was like, we were shit, but look at this boy here. I said, oh, he took that well. And it was a bit of a scuffed pass from Ida because
It was a pass. It was a pass. Was to Knight. The pass was not to Ferguson.
But you still bang first touch. Bosh, thank you very much. And even he should have had a goal in the first couple of minutes, first 3-4 minutes. And to be fair, it was a worldly of a save by the Armenian lad. Holy shit! But like he did everything right there. Like remember the goalkeeper who was shocking, went for his feet, missed, ball goes out, he turns around, first time, it was inch perfect, and it was just a world class save by the Armenian guy off the line. The boy is just special, but like he does need to start scoring goals though. He really does. But no, he's doing well. Right, should we get to the comments?
Yeah. Oh yeah, actually though, I was going to say, why did Bristol City not let Sinclair Armstrong leave? They refused to let him go to that move to Turkey, which would have been a really good move to him, the Turkish top flight. And they played 10 minutes the last game, 3 minutes today when they were 2-0 down, needing the score. Obviously, he's not prolific goal scorer, but they needed attackers on the pitch, and they give him 3 minutes, and it's just like, why did you not let him leave? I don't get it. Why did you tell a lad that you have to stay because you're going to be a important player, and you give him that sort of minutes? And his confidence is so unbelievably shot. Like if you watch him now to when he was this time last year when he first went to Bristol City, or even at QPR, it's sad to see how much he's lost his confidence. But I know he will get it back. But it's just it should be an option for Ireland, and the way it's currently going at the moment, he's not.
This is hurting you, isn't it, Roy? Do you know that's from? Do you know that's from? All right, the older fans will. This is hurting you. Dead right it is. When was it Tommy Gormley he interviewed Roy Keane after the Saipan incident. The children, Roy, the children. I know you have to check it out. Right, let's get to the comments, and then we get out of here.
Is this the weird?
Do not interrupt the music, Conor. Go ahead.
I want to say was is this the longest we've ever talked? Like when it's the comments on a live show. When we've
it's up there.
Yeah, the least amount of talk points we have, and we've just talked absolute shite.
Well, you were talking absolute shite. I was talking sense. Anyway, right, let's get into the comments. Baylor, for you, Conor, is Johnny Kenny injured?
We don't know. I don't think so. I think he's just not been picked, which is very strange. But he would. I don't know. Like has to be injured if he wasn't on the bench in the cup. So I don't know. It's just Brett Roger. I know it was quarterfinal and stuff, and they've signed the Iheanacho, but like, it would make no sense.
There was a protest. There was a protest against the board as well by Celtic fans. Said Lepelin, lads, is there any way back to a competitive level for a first team? What would have to happen to achieve that? New manager. That's my opinion.
Was any of the back competitive level for our first team? What would need to achieve? Players to play like they do for their club and more, because that's usually what we got for Ireland.
Wow.
Right, before last weekend. But yeah. No, it will, like, because the thing is what'll happen is, like we did over the last couple of years or last season, there'll be one weekend, Finizaz will score 2 worldies from outside the box. Sinclair Armstrong will score again, Tom Cannon will score again, Ferguson will score 2. Kelleher will pull off a world-class save, Bazuni will pull off a world-class save. Something will happen that we all be like, oh my god, we're back, we've never been so back, and then we're all upbeat for internationals again. Oh yeah, it was just a bit. And then maybe as you have a new man, like even a new manager box will get the fans excited. It was like a duff. Could you imagine the buzz around the place? Like,
my opinion is, well, I won't be getting excited under this current crop at all. We need a new manager who is going to, and a new coaching staff who's going to give these players a massive route up the hole, and for their own good, and get them feeling 10 feet tall. Get them fighting for each other, fighting for the badge, fighting for the fans, fighting. I wouldn't mind. It's in our DNA. It's in every player that wears that jersey's DNA somewhere down the line. We didn't see it in Armenia. Go back and watch it on the RTE player, whatever it's called. It's called the iPlayer over here, BBC iPlayer. Watch it back in the RTE player. Not one of them fighting. Not one of them fighting for each other. Not one of them arguing with the players. Only one man could talk to the ref, Nathan Collins, because he's the captain. And even when he got the penalty, he was just like, he gave out the penalty. He's like, oh. It's like, hold on a sec, man. You should be arguing. You should be in the referee's ear. There should be players protesting. There should be, and they bullied us. So we need someone who's going to come in and do that. It hasn't worked, in my opinion. The decisions have been poor. The players are poor. And you can't get rid of all the players. The manager has to go. Sorry, Hamer. That's my opinion. That's what we need to
Actually,
do.
just on like, I'm just looking back to Dave. Just like we played France at home and Netherlands at home, which was, you would say, there were days that we thought the players gave everything, and we had a bit of optimism. I know you were saying about France didn't play well, but like there was a bit of like, we could say the players showed us that they had that, like there was a bit of belief. And I'm just looking back that day. Bazunu started, net still there. Collins started. O'Shea started. Coleman started. Cullen, Doherty, Ogbene, Knight, Ferguson. So out of the last squad, 8 of the last squad started that day. The only player that hasn't been seen in quite a while is John Egan, who started in the middle of that defence. And Malumbi played that day. He got man of the match, didn't he? Malumbi or Knight got man of the match that day. I remember the two of them were excellent that day. And Malumbi will be back in the squad. Coleman will be back. So realistically, maybe Doherty will come out. But like I'm even looking at the bench, and the only real difference is like McLean's come out, Obafemi, Alan Brown, and Hendrick.
All I'm going to say about that is, right, I know there's a few fans that look back and they go, oh my God, that was such a great performance. No, not having that. Sorry, not having it. That was not a great Ireland team. I was never, go back and watch Green Machine. I never bought that. That was a big team. That was France, the world champions at the time, were they?
Yeah, the world champions.
Listen, that was the world champions. And I'll tell you exactly what happened there. That was the world champions. If that team that lost to Armenia was playing France, they would have upped their game. The real courage is, it's not about doing it against the big teams and the bright lights in Dublin or in Paris, right? It's about doing it in the dark places like Armenia. So I don't mean Armenia's dark place, but you know what I mean. That's where the qualifiers get you in the away games, and it got us for years. The Macedonias, twice. Places like Armenia where we slip up. That's where they stand up in a hostile crowd. That they were browbeaten until after 10 minutes, Conor. You were there with me.
Yep.
And when you're playing in a nice, glitzy stadium against a big team, and even I remember Evan Ferguson doing that before the game, they're all up for it. You don't need, you don't need to be up for France. It's France. It's the Dutch. It's Germany. It's England. You should be up for it, right?
Yep.
When you go to a place like Armenia, that's when you really see, are you up for this? How good are you now? Because it's not the glitz of the tie, but it's the importance of the 3 points. And these lads showed exactly how bad they were. Look, that game against France, I saw the highlights. You shared the thing with me again. They're sidewards, backward passes.
But we don't even do that.
Nowhere.
The problem is we don't even do it.
Point taken, but let's look at that. That was France sitting off us. Passes going side to side.
But the only difference was
going nowhere.
You could see there was a confidence in that group of players that they believed that they could keep hold of the ball, which now there's no. It's literally just hoofball into diagonals where there's no confidence of. Like back then, we had confidence in like Malumbi, who we all know is a limited player, but we had confidence that he could take the ball in midfield and even turn with it, or if he has to pass it backwards or sidewards, he would do. We don't have any faith in our midfielders anymore, David, all of getting on the ball and doing it with it. Am I wrong?
I didn't know, but I never. Look, I'm not trying to be smart arse here, but I had no faith in them doing anything.
No, but they could at least see there was signs of like a bit of confidence in the group. It seems like it's just not. Maybe just these players haven't accepted the news, this style. Maybe they think that it's going backwards, going back this way. But I don't know. I'm telling you, man, that's France. It's just France. I know. You
have a look at these lads playing Armenia in Yerevan when we lost 1-0, and the lads kept setting up Spurtsy and hit one, a daisy cutter, if I remember correctly. The lads sitting off. It was France. We started well against the Dutch because it's the Dutch. If you look at campaigns where we haven't qualified, like in the early 80s, late 70s, we always got a decent result at home against the big team, the Dutch. It's a con. It's just you're up for a big game. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
know what
Big,
you're. I know what you mean.
yeah. You know what I'm trying to. Anyway, well, moving on. Nigel one. Finn's sideways move to Southampton looks like a backwards move now. Yeah, they've gone to shit, haven't they?
Yeah, the all London's still gone.
Yeah, I mean they lost to Hull, drew well the derby, the South Coast derby against Portsmouth. That's a bit tasty. Drew away to Watford, beat Norwich in the EFL Cup. Lost at home to Stoke. Drew at home to drew away to Ipswich. Did beat Wrexham though. Yeah,
That's when Manning scored that free kick. That was first
yeah,
game of the season, wasn't it?
it was. Yeah, and then he drew it. So it hasn't been great, to be fair, for them. But you are correct, Nigel. Danny Nagel, apart from Curry's debut, another depressing weekend for our players. Seems like they've all lost the plot together. At least Fergie and Roma won, I suppose. Yeah, very, very bad weekend, Donny. But thank you for
I
tuning.
meant to say it was a lot of positives though from lads in like lower leagues. Evan Weir scored 2 earlies. You see the free kick he scored, Dave? Maybe not because you're in your wee world. And he was Joe Murphy in goal for Tranmere, who was a net for them. 44 years of age. Someone that's actually older than you that plays football, Dave. That it's crazy to think. I actually interviewed him. Was it 2 years ago? And I think that he was like Ireland's oldest player then, and I probably thought that was probably going to be his last season, and he's still going now. And he's played 3 games in the EFL, and he's Ireland's oldest ever player to play in the EFL. And every time he plays, obviously he's going to bring it. I know he's second choice keeper, but like it's mad that like, and he still is doing well. Like he's making good saves, which is crazy to think. And actually, I was thinking earlier was I think back to Plovdiv. Do you remember? Just the madness of what Plovdiv was like as a city. Okuflex scored twice today on his second start for Botov Plovdiv, which is mad to think.
Right,
So I don't
yeah.
know. Because Okuflex is a very talented player, just hasn't
Nice
really.
ground, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it was it was very nice for that sort of thing. You're like, oh, these League of Ireland clubs in, but it probably costs like 30 million or 60 million to build or something crazy. And like just others, Aaron Drennan got his 7th goal in 9 games to start the season. CR47, Callum Robinson got his first league goal this season, even though they lost to Bradford. Who had scored? Go on, Dave. Tell me who else scored at the weekend. There was someone else that scored. Conor Noss scored again for Duisburg in thingy.
Germany.
Germany, yeah. So he
I got you, Connor. I got you.
they've won, but actually he thought it was a 90th. Thought it was going to be a 90th minute winner, and then the opposition scored in the 97th minute to make it 1-1. So they would have won 7 out of 7 games, but now it's 6 out of 7 and 1 draw. But they're still top of the league in Germany. So yeah, so he's doing quite well there. So hopefully
What tier is that in Germany? Second tier?
3rd. If he was doing that in the 2nd tier, Dave, what would you be saying? You'd be saying call him up to Ireland.
I think you find that's not true. I wanted to remove Michael Obafemi from IBIG, but you said no.
No, because I know he said if he starts playing, I was like, the thing is, if he starts playing, he would have been called up over Johnny Kenny.
Oh God!
Bless
you, Connor.
Am I lying? It's about lads. It's about lads that are in the Ireland squad or on the fringes. But IBIG is, and is he on the fringes?
Oh, he's on the fringes, all right. Yeah, way over on the fringes over there.
What a sad fall off, though. What a sad fall off. I miss Obafemi.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually, who was I talking to about him? I was actually talking to my boss again, and because he asked about Obafemi as well, and I said, yeah, like what he scored the best goal I think has ever been scored in Lansdowne Road.
Yeah,
what
and he probably assisted the second best.
Yep. Yeah. No. I mean, you got John Sheridan's against Bolivia.
No, I know. I mean, since the Viva Stadium.
Yeah. Well, no, I think
the Tri-Park one was different class.
That was a class goal, but I think one of the best goals I've ever seen at Lansdowne Road was the Andorra goal in the first game at Lansdowne Road, the new Lansdowne Viva. Fuck me, it was a screamer. I even remember that. No, but like at Lansdowne Road, you had like John Sheridan against Bolivia, Mark Kennedy. Have you ever seen Mark Kennedy's Connor against Yugoslavia in '99?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, fucking hell. Bang. And Big Jack giving us socks. But yeah, no, it's just
But
sad.
no,
But yeah, it's not
but
falling.
because no, because the Troy Part one, it just showed the class he had as well. Because to be honest, any footballer can just strike a ball and smash it in like he done. But the way that assist, the way he took the chop, and then he seen Troy Howard making that run over behind was just you
I
could
remember,
see a
yeah.
player that had the ability to go levels above. Like he should be with his talent, he should be a Premier League player right now. And
It should
he's
be.
and he's an unused sub in the second tier of Germany, which I know it's only his second game involved the club, and maybe you can say he's settling as such, but he shouldn't be playing at that level.
Wow. Yeah, I tell you what, right? If he doesn't play in the next 5 games, he's going off it.
Oh, Dave.
No.
I was going to say. I was going to say I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. See.
Right. Kimon. Good man, Kimon. You are a subscriber to. We're going to try to get through these comments that are coming in. By the way, 1,500 of you watching us here on an unannounced show on a Sunday night. Thank you so much, by the way.
Dave, I'll just check how many likes we're on YouTube. We are on 15. Get us to 30 by the end of the show.
Guys, can we have a 30? Go on, just hit, if you're watching, right, just scroll up and just hit the like button.
But if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, you can like it there as well. But ideally, go to your YouTube app and just click thumbs up on that.
The real experience is when you hit the like button on the YouTube app.
And you subscribe.
Yeah, it actually feels better. Like, I know, right? Just try it. Go on. Just hit the like button. Go on. Now, you tell me that doesn't feel better. Just sits right. There you go. Kimon says, I know this is random, but since Parrott is probably missing the October games, yeah, I'd call it Melia over Kenny. What have we got to lose at this stage? I mean, other than the 21s wanting Melia, it's not a bad shout, really, is it?
No, it's not. Nothing against calling up. I even said it last month, and people were giving out to me. But yeah, I just think probably leaving. I know the thing is, 21s only have one game against Slovakia, which is going to be massive for them. But and Heimer's supposed to be very big on if he's going to call up someone that's eligible for 21s. There have to be someone that's definitely going to come in and play, which we probably wouldn't play. If you're that third choice striker, you're very unlikely, or not very unlikely, but you're probably 15% chance of playing both in either game.
The main team is so bad, right? There would be no point in calling up, and I get what you're saying. I absolutely totally get what you're saying, Kimon. Right, and I think in a more simpler time that would happen. There is no point because that team is so rotten right now, and it is. There's no point in getting a lad up and putting him in there. Just be around the senior team. No, he has to play because they're that bad. He probably could start. He probably would have scored against Armenia. He probably would have. So I wouldn't have him unless he's definitely going to play. I wouldn't do what he did to Andy Moran. Remember when he took him out of the under-21s?
It was crazy.
It was stupid. And that annoyed me about Kenny because actually because Mick tried to take players out of the under-21 squad when he was a senior manager, and Stephen Kenny wasn't having it. No, we need these players to develop. But when the shoe was on the other foot, anyway. Downtown 123. Good night, lads. While it's still depressing, good to see Irish players back playing. Maybe it's time to look at changing at least one of the centre backs and play play 3, not 2 in central midfield. The 2-man midfield, the pivot, as they call it in modern terms, has never worked for us, Conor, has it?
No.
So yeah, Aaron asked, well, Conor, is that video about all your thoughts are coming up?
The one I was on about you last week's about the predicting the squad and stuff. Yeah, that'll be next. Be this. When do we record it, Dave? Because it's basically Aaron. It goes off Dave and Martin's schedule. So we just didn't have time to do it this week. But it'll be.
Don't say like that, you bollocks. Yes, but he is correct. It does. No, we'll get it recorded this week, Aaron. We were going to try and record it tomorrow, but we couldn't. So we are going to actually get that done this week. So
it'll be early this week. It'll be up. Don't worry, it'll be up this week.
Yeah. Collins was poor against Fulham. Ferguson needs to start scoring, says Aaron. Shocking game from Cullen, says John Muckian. AX2. I was comfortably Collins' worst game since Armenia away last week. Yeah, Nick. Joe Hodge seemed to have a good game tonight. Created 4 chances. Could add a lot of creativity to our midfield if he keeps doing well in Portugal.
Agreed. And play from a deeper position as well if he's playing. I know he's played a bit as a number 10, but if he's doing from, say, deeper midfield, it would offer us more, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you know what the annoying thing is about this campaign is? Like, I remember when we went out of the Euro 2008 campaign, like 4 games early, I think it was. We were pretty much done. And Stan got fired after a 1-1 draw at home to Cyprus, and everyone booed him out of the building, and I booed him out of the building as well. I was very angry that night in 2007. But it was such a big group that you were able to have like a whole... Don Gibbons took over as under-21s manager, and he was able to bring loads of players in.
Yeah.
But because we could technically up somehow still in this up to the last day, you can't even change anything. Like, you can't change the manager. You can't really go, well, fuck, we're out, bring him in.
Yeah, it's only if we lose to Andorra at home or draw.
Armenia, you mean?
Oh yeah, Armenia, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Danny Nagel, mentality is the key issue with Collins. He makes a mistake and loses all composure. He's now standing defender, in my opinion, proven by his form last season. That's what I meant to say. Thank you, Donny. I meant to say that earlier on. We will see what he is made of. When Virgil van Dijk makes a mistake, and I am comparing him to Virgil van Dijk because that is the bar. He's probably the best centre back in modern football. That just be like in in this generation, he's the best.
You don't need to say properly. He is.
Yeah.
But in fairness, he gets a lot. I don't know if he gets an awful lot of stick from the Dutch media because he's never been up to his club standard for Holland.
Well, I mean, the Dutch team hasn't been good for a very long time. You look who's playing with Liverpool, but yeah, it's one of those.
But if you do look, they've still like good squad, but like it's like his light years below. Like this, he still has like Frankie De Jong in midfield beside him, or he has beside him, he has De Ligt or Van de Ven. Like, so there is good players beside him.
Yeah, but what was I saying there? Yeah, when he makes a mistake, or when Alisson makes a mistake. It's gone, but it's gone. He doesn't, his confidence doesn't go. It's gone. The mistake is gone, and he moves on. It's someone else's fault, and Collins has to prove that. He has to prove that. Aaron Gubbins, I personally feel Collins feels he has to be everywhere. He has to lead in every way instead of worrying about his job. Definitely the case, Aaron, with Ireland. Kim and again, Collins is usually good for Brentford. I assume he was lacking confidence against Fulham. You probably watched our reaction video, to be fair. Daniel Nagel, the appointment of Keith Andrews surely has to be the most reckless decision ever made by a Prem club. What on earth did he ever do to deserve getting that job? Well, we said at the time, Donny, it was a bit of a gamble, but obviously they see him, and and he would have been picked by Thomas Frank, and there'll be a pride there from Thomas Frank because Thomas Frank didn't leave there under bad circumstances. Like, oh yeah, you want to replace me with him? Yeah, I hope it fucking burns to the ground. He's thinking, I built something very special there, and there's room for me to do well at Spurs, and there's also room for Brentford to keep going forward. And I'm sure, he saw something in Keith Andrews. I will say this though, Conor, I was just checking at the Brentford Twitter there. We need to learn from this as a group, says Keith Andrews. And that's on the official, it's like a 3-minute 37 video. And he's talking, I don't know what he's saying. He is getting absolute dogs abuse from the fans. You need to learn from this. Back to the comments box, I reckon. He's watching different games to the rest of us. Probably indicates that doesn't go well in the long run. Unlucky Keith, keep working on those long throws. Out of a step, Brentford only going one way and down. Just all of that kind of stuff. Gary Bees, what is he on about? Really good start. We were not in the game start to finish. Be honest, we were dreadful, and it's not acceptable. Tune in quickly, Keith, or you and us are bang in trouble. So, it's not going well. Nick, Fessy is in great form at right back. Also subscriber, by the way, Nick. Thank you. Very strong in the tackle. Keemon, I prefer Brady over Manning, 100%.
Yep.
Jason Fitzsimmons, hi lads, to see Collins' international performance continue at the club games. Good man, Jason, by the way, another subscriber. I've seen some Brentford fans aren't happy with Kelleher too, which I think is harsh. Just quickly on Kelleher.
No, but the goal that was disallowed when Collins got the elbow in the face, Kelleher probably would have stayed that. So yeah, but no, he's still a top keeper. Like, he's just Kelleher.
Yeah. As an Everton fan, seeing O'Brien take the long throws. Throwing pisses me off so much. This came on. Yeah, he's the tallest man on the pitch. Down to 1, 2, 3. Neither Brady or Manning are strong enough defensively and are both getting old. Should Honohan get a chance? I would have given him a chance against Luxembourg. I called for it. Why not?
I got another assist weekend. Yeah.
You mean to tell me, and I'm not saying I'm saying this, to the clouds, old man shouting at the clouds. You mean to tell me he would have done a worse job against Armenia, against fucking Armenia? Nothing against Armenia, 105th in the world. Did you know, right? They hadn't kept a clean sheet for 3 years. And do you know who was against?
Ireland.
Yeah.
And the reality is, Dave, it was 13 players in that team came from their league. And their league, if you look at the UEFA coefficient or the UEFA rankings and leagues, is a lower ranked league than League of Ireland. So if you're going off stats, which all this goes off, players are picked off the league they play in and how well they do in the league they play in. Like, for example, we don't pick a League One player because it's League One. But Holohan's playing at a higher level, technically, in the League of Ireland and is playing regularly in European competitions and was the best player on the pitch against Santa Clara, who are in one of the top 5 leagues in Europe.
You see, yeah, I think against Armenia, you're gonna have a lad that and I'm not saying that to put him down. Excuse me, put him down because he does well against Armenia. You think maybe I'll give him a go against, another, and see how he goes. If only there was a game in June that the manager could have taken a risk and could have had a look at a couple of players in a position that he really needs sorting. Only Conor, eh? If only. Would you agree to ask Andy Martin that Chris Hughton would be a good choice for Ireland manager?
No, it'd be
No,
crap.
I think. Well, I'll give him more mature response.
He'd just be another Heimer. What would be the difference?
I think Chris Hughton's time has come and gone, Andy. To be honest with you, I know what you're saying. We want pragmatism. For me, it has to be Duff. Look, I'll support the manager until he's no longer in the equation. I will support every Ireland manager. But Duff is a contemporary coach. Chris Hughton is not. And Chris Hughton has been bombed out with the last few jobs. So, let's we have to be honest there. I think his time has come and gone. Keeman again, down to 1, 2, 3. Brady and Manning aren't all that bad in my opinion. Adar Marola is one we could consider as well. That's a shout.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, God, I hope Amabamadeli can stay fit. He should realistically be in the team over Darrell O'Shea since he stayed in the Championship, Ipswich, Strasbourg, near the top of the French League and are in Europe. If the lad stays fit, and I hope he does, and I hope I'm wrong, I will gladly say I'm wrong. 100% glad I will say I'm wrong that Amabamadeli does show the ability he has because he probably is our second best defender.
And he could be. The reality is he has the potential to go on to be our best defender if things go right from his career. Because if you do really well at Strasbourg, you could easily, I know Chelsea are the club they're affiliated with, but you could easily get a move to a top 6 team in England or a top Spanish team.
Has to stay fit, has to develop. Keeman says again, the thing with Patrick Finn is that he hasn't played enough professional games for his age. No, he hasn't. He really has not. We love you, Conor. What about me? What about me, Fuck. AX2, JP's turn and back heel was the best thing we've seen in our jersey in years. Probably is, actually. I was in Luxembourg. Shane Martin. Collins has made mistakes now against Forest. At fault for Sunderland's last-minute winner. Hungary, Armenia, Cole Palmer's goal for Chelsea. All 3 goals last night. Didn't win a header all night.
Well, if you're being honest,
is he wrong?
You're being honest, Sunderland's last-minute goal was Kelleher's fault. That was terrible goalkeeping. Even you remember that, Dave? He pushed it into the net. That wasn't Collins' fault. But yeah, Collins, he just needs to cut out these mistakes that as you say, he falls asleep at times.
Oh yeah, but ball watching. He ball watches. Oh my God. Aaron Gubbins, excuse me, Coventry deserves a chance. He is a good player, says Aaron Gubbins.
Yes,
Sorry,
right.
I wasn't when I was grunting there. I wasn't saying that to be dismissed with that comment. He does. He's playing in a championship. Maybe give him a chance. Came on again. That Dewsbury Hall yellow is embarrassing. Bradley felt Grealish 7 times without getting a yellow. I know. Well, he shouldn't have declared for England then, should he have came on?
Who?
Grealish.
Oh, did you say Dewsbury Hall? I was like, he was going to say protectively.
I almost had a heart attack. Calm down. Keeman goes, Moran had a shocker versus Senegal, and I think that is why he wasn't picked by Heimer.
Did he not play 10 minutes? He played 10 minutes, didn't he?
Wow. I mean, he came on when we were 4-0 down against England, and he was boss in that space, acres of space, because the game was done. But he was such a great player.
He's a baller. He's so good.
Franco, good man, Frank. Great meeting you over in Armenia, my good man. MLS easily on par with the top teams in the Dutch league, and most teams will well ahead of the lower teams.
Yeah, well said, Frank. And he's a man that watches MLS every week.
No,
Yeah.
I will take Frank's. I will take Frank's opinion. He's a good guy, Frank. It was great meeting you, even if you did pose for a picture with the 42 or whoever it was, trader. Came with my feet. I was like, "That's Frank." That was literally about 5 minutes after I left him, because somebody didn't show up outside the ground, Conor, did they?
I turned up like 10 minutes after you arrived, anyway.
Mm.
You wanted
After
to
I
meet
was-
me at like half when I arrived at a quarter.
It's all about timing, young man. Robbie
It was 'cause I was
Bonfield.
trying- It was because of that fucking taxi driver. It was because he wouldn't take my cash. Do you remember? I had like too much cash. I had too much
Yeah,
money.
just-
I'm too rich.
Yeah, well, rap. You should have said I'm Rap Tracker. I should be riding for free, baby. Robbie Bonfield. Scales had a fantastic game today for Celtic and scored a good goal, being solid this year. And Celtic's informed defender since the start of the season. Bosun was given a chance at Celtic, but never showed any potential at the time. But he's doing it now.
Can you tell me? Can you tell me when Boston was given a chance? Can you tell me? He wasn't given a chance. He played like 2 preseason games last year. That was it.
Not my fight. Nick says, so Heimer knowingly played a lad with a hamstring injury. I'd sack him for that alone. Yeah, ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous.
That's more medical. That's more medical staff thing. Because medical staff would have to say it. Lee is not fit to play.
Aaron Gubbins was there at the Olympico in July. Nothing there really. Ended up nowhere. Yeah. I remember trying to get out of there. Had to get a hotel to call me a taxi because it was a nightmare. Shane Martin, that's just the season regards Collins. How can he say his club form is outstanding? I think he needs to be rested. Take the armbands away. Let him just focus on his game, says Shane. Aaron Gubbins. I've been to the training centre near nowhere either. That's Roma. PB42. Ferguson needs to start scoring goals. Sorry, my thing is going to go a bit weird there. Hold on. My every 2 hours, my hard drive starts backing up. Ferguson needs to start scoring goals for Roma. He's talented, but I would question his nose for goals in the box. Keeman asks, BB42, he doesn't get enough reception. In response to that, Keeman says, Fessie's by far the most underrated player we have. Criminal how Heimer deemed that Doherty was better than him. Yep, Fessie's brilliant, says Nick, was criminal omission. I think we all agree with that. Shane Martin, not surprised Collins has made so many mistakes when his manager is saying it's okay to make mistakes. Andrews has been around him for 5 years now. We can't afford that luxury. Keeman, Fessie starts for at least 5 Premier League clubs. Keeman again, and realistically, Collins, Brian Kelleher, Ferguson, Part, and Abaselli are our only Premier League level players. Tony in LA, how you doing, Tony? Hi lads, hope you're well. I'm too depressed about Irish soccer to say anything except hello. Hello, Tony.
Oh, hello, Tony.
Another subscriber as well. Nick Duffer in. Keeman, never thought I would say this, but Malumbi should be starting overnight. Yeah. I mean, I could probably start over bloody night. Aaron Gubbins again. Fair play to that Irish guy winning Messi tournament. What a pick to have been presented your trophy with the GOAT.
Yeah, did you see that?
No.
Evan DC, Cove Ramblers, Academy player, won the 1v1 World Championships. Sponsored by Messi's drink. And Messi got presented with by Messi with the crown he got. It was like a crown thing. It was pretty cool. It was very cool. Like,
Oh, didn't see it. AX2, very quick question for you, Conor. And before we wrap this up, how are Adamarola, Morehouse, and Connolly getting on late? All right.
Morehouse has been top class as of the last couple of weeks since the international break. So he missed one because his paperwork wasn't done time, but he was unreal for Ireland. Or for Leighton Orient the last couple of weeks, which is great to see. Excellent player. Connolly's doing very well as well. We're not scoring the goals he's so far, but he's doing well. And Teo was out injured. He was only just there back on the bench at the weekend. So he started well and then he picked up an injury, which was annoying. But yeah, that's how they're getting on.
Fair enough. Aaron says, yeah, no bother at all. Looking forward to all your opinions and thoughts on a group call of change, etc. What results would you like and what we need to go our way? We will have that on that video, Aaron. But thank you. Any ideas, by the way? More ideas, Aaron? Keep them coming.
Yeah.
We'll do it. And any ideas from the Roar faithful, let us know. We'll definitely cover it. See, speaking of the Liverpool Everton game, Andy McCoy is hard to listen to on commentary. The constant waffle about getting it into the big man up top and cream himself over every Bradley tackle.
Yeah. It was bad because usually Ali McCoy is quite good and he's usually but he was doing my head in because he was going on about like, oh, it was like, but the let it go. He's like, oh, we missed the big tackles and stuff and lads getting stuck and maybe fouling each other. And he's like, yeah, like Bradley's tackle against Mbappe last year. It's like, Mbappe's tackle against Mbappe, wasn't it foul? It was just an unbelievable tackle and then he just took him out whilst he won the ball. It was like, they were trying to say, no, you should be allowed to foul or you should bring him back tackling like that. But yeah, but Ali was just on one at the weekend.
You leave Conor Bradley alone. Joe, last comment of the night. Grealish had Bradley on the ropes, but the referee bailed him out by not booking him for 6 fouls.
It's crazy.
Lads, shh. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Right, we're going to leave it there. 1,600 of you watching us here on a Sunday night, an unannounced episode of Lansdowne Roar live. Oh, thank you very much. I enjoyed it. Conor, did you enjoy it?
Great crack. I didn't realize we'd be talking this absolute nonsense for almost 2 hours. It's a bit mad, to be honest with you. And there's on 19 likes in this video, so behind me turn this off, at least get it to 25. So,
come on!
But yeah, it's been good crack, and I didn't expect it to have this much talking points. Like, the no usual Celtic Symphony of Rolling Stone with their arguments in the comments, or Harrison actually hasn't been here tonight.
Probably didn't know we were on.
Yeah, people didn't know we were on, but yeah, it was a good video. Nevertheless,
no, absolutely. Also, don't forget we have a new sister page for Lansdowne Road on this day in Ireland. It's basically the same thing as Lansdowne Road. It is getting started, so be patient with us there. We're going to have more content on that every day. If you want a little bit of extra Roar, go to Roar Plus. It's also in the description here. $4.99. It's a great way to support what we do. We go to all the games. We're going to Portugal. That reminds me, I need to apply for my accreditation. We're going to Portugal. We're going to go to Bratislava. I'm going to do that right now when I get off.
Bratislava?
Not Bratislava, Budapest. Maybe I'll go to Bratislava instead. I've already been to bloody Budapest.
Actually, yeah. And actually, as I said last week with Martin, because there's more on obviously now, anyone going to Budapest, what I know what a few others are doing is we're playing England under 21s on the Friday in Birmingham. And what I'm doing is flying into Birmingham on the Friday morning and then going to the match on the Friday evening and then Saturday morning flying on to Budapest for the match on the Sunday. And just in terms of price-wise, if anyone was wondering, I paid €35 for my flight to Birmingham through Aer Lingus, which you'll love, Dave, because as long as it's not Ryanair. And then my flight to Budapest the next day, which is at actually a decent time. It's like 12:30, so it's not like it's 6 o'clock in the morning, was €40 from Birmingham directly to Budapest. So, and it's saving money, and it's going to be, so basically you're going to have 3 games to go to in 4 days because of the Portugal on the Thursday night. So it'll be Portugal Thursday, England 21s on the Friday, and then Hungary on the Sunday. So it'll be great. 4 days of football.
There you go. And we're going to be over there as well. So Roar Plus, go on. And also, if you want to support the page, just make a donation. There's a coffee link down there. Buy some coffee, or don't. It's fine. It's cool. It's all right. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. Also, head over to lansdowneroad.ie. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really does help. We're trying to grow it now. We're just trying to get our numbers up. I hit 5,000 Instagram.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you very much. What are you on now?
Oh, very close to 8,000.
He's on 8,000.
Yeah,
spread the word, guys. Give us a follow there as well. We're trying to get our numbers up. We're growing on every level there. We're reaching people. 80,000 on Facebook there for Lansdowne Road. Showed you the picture tonight. What was it? 7.4 million people reached Lansdowne Road in the last month. So we're doing well. We're doing all right, Conor, aren't we?
Yep.
But
and if anyone knows any good stream cams after mine breaking, make sure you give a DM or comment on this because it's pissed me off. But I will be getting a better one, but it's just annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. Or buy Conor one.
That'll be great. The sponsor wants to sponsor so all new cameras.
Yeah. No, I'm that's a joke. That's unless you want to buy one. But no, listen, thank you so much to Roar Faithful as well. You guys are amazing and you really do make it worthwhile. Because we were thinking, Christ, we didn't know what we were going to expect getting on here tonight. And you know what? Once we hit that like button and we get talking to you guys, it all feels very good in the end. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. We will be back with League of Ireland during the week. We'll have another Raw episode. Check out the YouTube channel. There's loads of stuff there. And Raw Retro will be released tomorrow. That is the World Cup. Apologies for the delay on that. That is the World Cup 2002. Squad of Martin and myself are talking about that. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. And we'll see you on the next one. Conor, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. This is Lansdowne Roar, the voice of the fans. You're all bloody wonderful. We'll see you next one.